the conversations that I often have with organisations is about validating their employees' experience, regardless of whether or not, you've got one person who may be the manager who's in conflict with the person who's gone off on stress leave. The issue is not about who's right and who's wrong. And the problem is that we often want to find one person's got to be right and one person's got to be wrong. And it's actually usually that process that causes the biggest problem, because perception is actually what it's all about. If a person perceives that they're in a situation in which they are so stressed that they cannot be in the workplace, then we just need to validate that person's experience. It actually isn't appropriate for us to decide whether or not we agree with that person's perception. Their perception is exactly that, it's their perception. And we have to manage that. And it's really, really important that we validate a person's experience, whether or not we have that same perception that in those same circumstances we would feel as stressed as this person is saying that they are. And it's one of the biggest challenges that we have when we work in HR areas or injury management units. We often, just because it's human nature, put ourselves in that person's shoes and then try and decide whether or not we agree that they should feel that way or not. And in essence, it actually isn't our role or our place to do that. Our role is to just support them in what they're telling you they feel. And we don't have to agree with whether or not we would feel that way ourselves in the same situation. And it seems unusual that, we're so used to judging people and trying to put ourselves in another person's shoes and decide if that would be how we would feel. But it isn't about you or your experience. It's about them and their experience. And the key to actually engaging them and getting them back to work quicker has to do with validating how they're feeling and their experience, just as they tell you that they're feeling it. And it's really, really hard, I think, as human beings to pull back from, putting yourself in another person's shoes. We always talk about you've got to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. In certain circumstances, yes, but not if it means that you're going to invalidate the experience that they're telling you that they're having. All right. Seems like a really simple thing, but you would be surprised at how many problems are actually caused in organisations because we judge somebody else based on our own experiences. And in reality, we don't have any right to.